What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Khamzat has responded to a viral comment involving Ilia and quickly shut down the idea that Ilia could ever submit him. A fan recently left a comment on an Ilia edit, claiming that Ilia would be able to choke out Khamzat in a potential matchup. The comment started gaining attention, and it did not take long for Khamzat to notice it. Khamzat replied directly and made his feelings very clear. He wrote that even in his dreams, someone who is half his height and half his weight could never submit him. He added several laughing and crying emojis to show that he found the idea completely ridiculous. The response instantly went viral and was shared across social media. Many fans praised Khamzat for his confidence, while others enjoyed the playful trash talk between two of the sport's biggest stars. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Arman has responded to Dana White after Dana once again said that he needs to work his way back up for a lightweight title shot. During a recent interview, Arman explained that he honestly has no clear idea what he is supposed to do next. He said that Dana mentioned Arman knows what he needs to do, but from Arman's side, nothing has been clearly communicated to him. He admitted that he wishes he could speak directly with Dana and figure out exactly what is required. Arman went on to say that they have never really talked about his situation in detail. According to him, there has been no proper discussion about his future or about what steps he needs to take. The only real conversation he remembers was before the Hooker fight when he spoke with Hunter. Hunter told him he would get the Hooker fight in Qatar, and Arman immediately agreed. After that, Arman heard that the fight was considered a #1 contender bout. Later, he found out through rumors that a headbutt incident may have affected his chances at a title shot. However, he never heard this directly from the UFC. No one officially told him anything. For now, Arman feels confused, frustrated, and still waiting for clear direction on what comes next. Moving on to another news. Umar Nurmagomedov has shared his thoughts on the Bantamweight title picture and why he believes it could actually benefit him if Sean O'Malley gets the next shot. Speaking in a recent interview, Umar explained that if the UFC decides to give O'Malley another opportunity at the belt, it may open better doors for him in the long run. Umar said that if the promotion books O'Malley against Petr Yan, then he would likely be matched in a rematch with Merab. For Umar, that would be a perfect chance to avenge his previous loss and prove that he belongs at the very top of the division. He believes that beating a former champion or a top contender should mean something, even if it does not immediately lead to a title fight. He admitted that, realistically, he is not expecting the UFC to hand him a title shot right away. Even if he beats another big name, he feels they might still make him fight again before giving him that opportunity. Still, Umar made it clear that he is ready for whatever comes next and does not mind earning his way step by step. Umar also talked about future plans and said he would love to headline a main event in Abu Dhabi during the summer. He mentioned possible matchups with Yadong or even O'Malley, depending on how things play out. In his view, if O'Malley fights for the title next, it actually makes his own path clearer. He plans to focus on Merab, stay active, and keep pushing forward until he reaches his ultimate goal. Moving on to another news. Alexander Volkanovski has opened up about just how difficult it is for him to cut down to 145 pounds before fight night. In a recent interview, the former champion explained that weight cutting is one of the hardest parts of being a professional fighter, even more demanding than many people realize. Volkanovski said that while fighting itself is obviously extremely tough, it only lasts for about 25 minutes inside the cage. The preparation, pain, and suffering that come before that moment last for weeks. He explained that fighters go through intense training, strict dieting, dehydration, and constant discomfort just to be ready for those few minutes of competition. According to him, weight cuts are something you slowly learn to manage over time, but they never become easy. He admitted that no matter how experienced you are, cutting weight is still brutal. During fight week, Volkanovski usually drops anywhere from 7 to 8 kilograms. That alone puts huge stress on the body and requires careful planning with his team. He also revealed that on the final night before weigh-ins, he often has to lose around 5 more kilograms. That means sweating out roughly 5 liters of water in a very short period of time. He described this process as extremely exhausting and mentally draining, especially when combined with the pressure of an upcoming fight. Volkanovski made it clear that fans often only see what happens inside the cage, but they rarely understand what fighters go through behind the scenes. The constant hunger, dehydration, and fatigue are all part of the job. For him, surviving the weight cut is sometimes just as challenging as winning the fight itself. Moving on to another news. Kamaru Usman has shared his thoughts on a potential comeback fight involving Conor and Jorge Masvidal. Despite Dana White recently shutting the idea down and calling it goofy, both Kamaru and Henry Cejudo believe that Conor versus Masvidal would be the perfect matchup for both men at this stage of their careers. During a recent discussion, Kamaru explained that he understands Dana's position, especially since Dana is the one who makes the final decisions. He pointed out that many of the big plans involving Conor were talked about 2 or 3 years ago, and since then, things have changed. With Michael Chandler currently out of the picture, Kamaru believes the realistic options are very limited. He said that people often bring up Nate Diaz as a possible opponent, but that storyline already peaked years ago. In his view, both Conor and Nate are in very different places now compared to 5 years ago. Instead, Kamaru feels that Masvidal makes much more sense. Conor has not fought in nearly 5 years, and Masvidal has been inactive for around 3 years. Because of that, he thinks the timing is perfect for both of them to make their returns against each other. Kamaru added that the rivalry and hype they had in the past is still there. He believes the UFC could easily bring that energy back and turn it into a massive event. Stylistically, he thinks the matchup works. In terms of age, experience, and time away from the sport, both fighters are in similar situations. That balance, according to Kamaru, makes the fight even more appealing. He openly said that he loves the idea and encouraged Dana to book it. Henry Cejudo also supported the matchup and agreed that it makes sense from both a business and competition standpoint. He said he is not hating on the fight at all and would be excited to see Masvidal get such a big opportunity. If that fight does not happen, he mentioned that he would also like to see Masvidal settle things with Leon Edwards. However, he admitted that Conor versus Masvidal still feels like the better option. One major advantage is that Conor would not need to cut down to lightweight. He could stay at welterweight, where Masvidal is already comfortable. That removes one of the biggest obstacles for Conor and makes the matchup easier to organize. In the end, both Kamaru and Henry agreed that the fight has very few downsides. The only concern is that Conor seems to constantly jump from one potential opponent to another. Until he commits to one path, everything remains uncertain. Still, they believe that Conor versus Masvidal is a fight that could truly deliver if it ever becomes reality. Moving on to another news. Justin Gaethje has opened up about his mindset heading into his next fight and why he believes he is still fighting with the mentality of someone coming off a loss. Despite earning a unanimous decision victory over Rafael Fiziev in his last outing, Justin admitted that he still feels like he is coming off the knockout defeat to Max Holloway. He explained that mentally, he carries that loss with him every day and uses it as motivation. Justin said that he fights at his best when he understands how much danger he is truly in. For him, feeling threatened brings out his highest level. He believes that Paddy is dangerous and is trying to take everything from him, including his position, reputation, and legacy. Because of that, Justin feels completely locked in and focused. Even though he bounced back with a win, he still approaches this fight as if he has everything to prove. In his mind, he was just knocked out, and now he must respond in the strongest way possible. Speaking at Media Day, Justin also addressed the criticism surrounding Paddy's rise and his interim lightweight title shot. Many fans and analysts have argued that Paddy does not deserve the opportunity because several of his recent wins came against opponents who were past their prime. Justin strongly disagreed with that narrative and made it clear that he respects Paddy's skills. He said that when people criticize Paddy, they often overlook how unpredictable and dangerous mixed martial arts truly is. According to Justin, anything can happen at any moment inside the cage. He believes that most of the people sharing negative opinions have never taken the kind of risks that professional fighters take every time they compete. He described those critics as people who sit on the sidelines and talk without understanding what it feels like to step into real danger. Justin emphasized that he does not care what others say about Paddy. From his perspective, Paddy is confident, fearless, and willing to put everything on the line. Those qualities, he said, are two of the biggest variables in any fight. Confidence and danger can change everything in seconds. He also spoke about momentum and how important it will be in their matchup. Justin said that fighting is a constant battle for control, and he plans to take that momentum early and hold on to it. If he faces adversity, he is ready to respond and show his experience. He made it clear that he considers himself a true veteran and believes he will be the most dangerous opponent Paddy has ever faced. Moving on to another news. Dana White has confirmed that he plans to rebook the highly anticipated fight between Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes. After their original matchup fell apart, fans have been waiting for updates. and now it looks like the UFC is fully committed to making this fight happen. As many people know, Kayla was forced out of their scheduled bout at UFC 324 after doctors determined she needed surgery on her neck. The injury made it impossible for her to compete at the time, leading to the fight being postponed. In a recent interview with TMZ, Dana explained why the promotion decided not to replace her with another opponent. Dana described the matchup as the greatest female fight ever and said it deserved special treatment. He stated that you cannot simply throw someone else into a fight of that magnitude. Instead, the right decision was to wait until Kayla is fully healthy and ready to compete again. He also praised Amanda, saying she has been amazing to work with and that they have had a great relationship since day one. According to Dana, Amanda is professional, respectful, and very easy to deal with. The good news is that Kayla's surgery reportedly went very well. Her recovery is progressing smoothly, and doctors expect her to make a full return. Dana added that if everything continues on track, the UFC should be able to book this massive showdown later this year, giving fans the fight they have been waiting for. Moving on to another news, Paddy Pimblett has shared his brutally honest thoughts ahead of his upcoming fight with Justin Gaethje, making it clear that he plans to leave a lasting impact inside the cage. Earlier this week, Justin said that he is going into the fight with the intention of seriously hurting Paddy. In response, Paddy revealed that he has the same mindset and believes Gaethje will not be physically the same after their matchup. Paddy explained that everyone knows what to expect when facing Justin. His fights are always filled with chaos, violence, and non-stop action. He said that stepping in there with Gaethje feels like signing up for a car crash, and that alone gives fighters goosebumps. Still, Paddy insisted that he is ready for it and confident in his ability to come out on top. When asked about receiving Justin's name on the contract, Paddy said it was just another fight to him. He explained that he never turns down opponents and always signs when a name is sent to him. According to Paddy, he steps up and fights whoever is put in front of him. He also revealed that he was supposed to fight Justin back in October in Abu Dhabi, but he believes Justin turned it down at the time. Now that there is a belt on the line, Justin accepted the matchup, which Paddy finds interesting. He added that it feels good to finally fight someone he thought he would face a long time ago. Paddy went on to say that he plans to put a beating on Justin like he has never received before. He promised that after the fight, he will feel exactly the same, while Gaethje will be the one dealing with the damage. For Paddy, this is about proving himself at the highest level and showing that he belongs among the elite. In addition to talking about Gaethje, Paddy also had some harsh words for Dustin Poirier following his recent loss to Max Holloway in what was supposed to be his retirement fight. Paddy claimed that Dustin looked terrible and took too much punishment over 5 rounds. He said that Dustin put too much pressure on himself by announcing his retirement and building massive expectations. According to Paddy, if a fighter is truly ready to walk away, they should just do it without making a big spectacle. He believes Dustin ended up embarrassing himself in front of his home crowd and made things harder by talking too much beforehand. Paddy used this situation as an example, saying that fighters should know when it is time to step away and focus on life outside the cage instead of risking unnecessary damage. Moving on to another news, Dana White is facing growing criticism from fans and members of the MMA community over what many see as a lack of promotion for UFC 324. In recent months, it appears that Dana has shifted much of his focus away from the UFC and toward outside projects, including Power Slap and his new Zuffa boxing venture. This change in priorities has not gone unnoticed. On Wednesday, just days before UFC 324, Dana chose to host the very first Zuffa boxing press conference instead of actively promoting the upcoming UFC event. That decision immediately sparked backlash online. Many fans questioned why the president of the UFC was prioritizing another project during a major fight week. One fan wrote that Dana has been checked out of the UFC for a long time and wondered why anyone should care about boxing when there was a big MMA card coming up. Another fan criticized him for ignoring Fight Week and asked what he was doing instead of promoting the event. Some were shocked to learn that Dana did not even know that his main event fighter does not speak English, calling it unbelievable for a promoter at his level. Other comments were even harsher. Several fans accused Dana of no longer caring about the UFC at all. Some joked about the situation, asking if it was really UFC 324 Fight Week, because it did not feel like it. The frustration continued to grow as more people shared similar opinions across social media. Ariel Helwani also joined the discussion and publicly criticized Dana after he admitted that he does not actively follow MMA anymore, and that no MMA-related content appears on his social media feeds. Ariel pointed out that modern algorithms are based on what users consume and interact with. In his view, it is strange that the president of the UFC would not be seeing UFC or fighter content regularly. He explained that he is not saying Dana should watch or engage with MMA content 24 hours a day. However, simply by being in his position, you would expect him to naturally interact with posts about the UFC and its athletes. Ariel suggested that if Dana truly is not being shown any MMA content, it reflects a deeper disconnect from the sport. Many fans agreed with that perspective and said it raises serious questions about Dana's current level of involvement. To them, the lack of visible engagement sends the wrong message to fighters and supporters who expect strong leadership. While Dana continues to expand into new business ventures, critics believe that moments like this show why fans are becoming increasingly concerned. They want to see the UFC president fully invested in promoting his own product, especially during major fight weeks. For now, the debate continues, with many wondering whether this shift in focus could affect the future of the organization.